Alright, ladies and gents, it's Salvaje and I'm back at it again with another Fortnite Save the World video. So this is my first episode for my hero build series. I'm going to be going over the build on the first section of the video, and then on the second section of the video I'm going to be going over gameplay examples and what I like to call my combat analysis that of course will actually teach you how to maximize the build. Originally, this idea was going to be for my Hero Mastery series, okay? But when they announced the Hero Loadout, I had to delay the series all the way up until, you know, after the Hero Loadout came out. And this series was all about teaching you guys how to maximize one hero, but I realized that that's actually a bad idea because I can't teach you guys how to maximize a hero if I don't go over loadout. So basically this series evolved into this right here, which again, it's my hero build series for Save the World. So the reason why we're going with Anti-Cuddle Sarah is because this is a melee based build that is also very ability focused. And one of the reasons why we're going to be able to maximize our ability as well as our melee is of course because of the rapid charge perk that Anti-Cuddle Sarah has. Melee weapon eliminations are of course going to be giving us 22.5 of energy to our energy bar. For the team perk, I'm just going to be going with Dim Mac. I mean, this is one of the best, if not the best perks, the best perk for ninjas at the time of me making this video. Regenerating 2.7% of your shield every time that you have shadow stands activated per second basically makes you a tank. Alright, it's super amazing how ninjas are actually useful now in Save the World. Alright, so for support team, let's go over what we have. We got Shuriken Master Sarah so that we can have one extra throwing star. We have Kunai Collection, which means that every time we get eliminations with Kunai Storm, of course the cooldown for Kunai Storm will be decreased by 2 seconds. This is going to of course let us use Kunai Storm even more. We have Anatomy Lesson, so this is going to be increasing the critical rating of our swords because this is a sword based build because I just like using swords more. We have Rapid Fire. This is going to be decreasing our throwing star cooldown, which means of course we're going to be able to use our throwing stars more. And most importantly, we have a Legendary Blade, which is going to give us that 25% extra damage when it comes down to our sword if we're in shadow stands. What you can replace in this build, I guess you could say, you can replace Shuriken Master Sarah. You can also replace, I believe this guy's name is Overtake a Hero. Yep. You can also replace Overtake a Hero if you want, but I absolutely believe that you need Whiteout Fiona. She's an absolute safe recruit, 100%. And I think you also absolutely need the boy Sword Master Ken. And yeah guys, Shuriken Master Lamurai, really good as well because of course it's gonna let us use our throwing stars even more. And I also, you know, Overtake a Hero, guys, you shouldn't really replace him because you can just get him by doing the hero quest line for the ninjas. Anyways, now that we went on over the build, let's of course go into some gameplay examples and break down of course the gameplay examples so you guys can maximize this build too. Oh yeah, that's right, and the gadgets, it's going to be the airstrike gadget. Just because we're going to be able to provide fast damage with the airstrike. And on top of all that, we also have Adrenaline Rush, just in case, you know, we're getting melted by like 7 blasters. Alright, so let's go over the combat analysis, see what it is that you guys can do to, of course, maximize this build. And honestly, guys, another reason why I wanted this to be my first build video is because the fundamentals of this build are actually pretty easy. I'm going to use my heavy attack. I'm going to use my Kunai Storm. I don't have any more energy because I also use my throwing stars. And then I'm going to, of course, be getting energy back with my melee. I'm going to throw down my smoke bomb because I wanted these blasters to get damaged over time by the smoke bomb. But I guess the radius wasn't really too close to them. But it's not a big deal. I'm going to get my energy back with melee. And then as you guys can see, I have the energy to either use an ability or, of course, use the heavy attack from my Spectral Blade. If you have a Spectral Blade, this build is also really good. Don't worry, Spectral Blade is probably going to be returning maybe in Birthday Llamas just in case you don't have it. But enough about the Spectral Blade, let's take a look at this other gameplay examples. I'm going to see that I have a lot of enemies right in front of me and I want to do that high burst damage. So that's why the airstrike is on our setup, guys. Sometimes in Save the World, you know, there's just going to be way too many enemies that you might not be able to deal with, specifically on the higher level missions, and you just want to destroy them really quickly. The airstrike, from my experience, will do that faster than the hovering turrets because of course the hovering turrets are going to take a while. Okay, so right here I'm just looking around. I'm going to see where the enemy is, and I see that the enemy is far away, right? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to double jump and then I'm going to use my throwing stars. You guys mostly want to be using throwing stars to either pierce multiple enemies or of course just cover the distance between you and the enemy as I did on that previous gameplay example. So like I said earlier, this build specializes on using our energy to, of course, take advantage of our abilities. So right here, I'm going to rush up this blaster. I'm going to throw down a smoke bomb to damage him over time, hit him a couple of times with my sword, and then I'm going to finish him off with the kunai storm. That's a perfect example of how, of course, we can use our abilities with our melee in a very synchronized manner. Now, I am low on energy right now, which means that I desperately need to get a melee kill. So I'm going to get a melee kill on this guy right here, and then I'm going to use my throwing stars to put this blaster on really low health. And it is because of my throwing star use that I was able to instantly kill the blaster, get my energy very quickly, and put myself at another position where I'm going to be able to, of course, use my abilities. I'm going to wait for my kunai storm to come back here. I'm going to double jump. I'm going to throw down my kunai storm. And most of the targets that are going to be on the ground are either going to be weakened or, of course, completely eliminated. And as you guys are seeing in the background, this is why the Dim-Mak perk is an absolute must-have when it comes down to this build. I was taking a lot of damage in that scenario, and the constant shield regeneration that the Dim-Mak perk was giving me was basically just, you know, letting me stay alive. But that's pretty much it, guys, for the Save the World hero build video. I showed you guys not only the build, but also how to maximize it with these gameplay examples. Be on the lookout because I will be having more videos like this. One of the reasons why this is one of my favorite builds in Fortnite Save the World right now, it's because it's pretty simple to understand, but also kind of complex, as in you have to be really active when you're using this build, not just throwing down an ability and letting the ability do all the work, or just be firing a weapon in a general direction. You most likely want to be setting up ability kills by weakening enemies with your melee, or you can weaken enemies with your abilities and then finish them off with your melee. It's a really fun build. Make sure that you guys give it a shot. And with that said, I will be seeing you guys on my next episode of my Save the World hero build series. See you guys on the next one. Peace out.